All right, we're here in Wisconsin confronting the CIA agent Eric Sayward, who helped put out the documentary A Noble Lie.
Mm-hmm.
Eric Sayward, how long have you been a agent for the CIA?
I'll let you know when I become one.
Okay. What are some of the benefits to working with the CIA?
Well, you get to make documentary films and get called an agent by people who don't know anything about what they're talking about. Um, Other than that, I get to meet other agents and we get to travel around the country and harass people who work for us as well. Because it's all a big psyop, of course. Because we're really for the New World Order. It's just that we need to have people who don't think that we are. So we run around faking it and spending our last dollar handing out DVDs and basically getting kicked out of our homes because we, work so hard at it. But that's the life of an undercover agent. We've been harassed by police. We've been escorted out of places. We've been confronted by the TSA. We get on the news every now and then, which is kind of fun. Other than that, it's just burning DVDs, handing them out, bringing in other CIA agents to speak at large universities, and then when all is said and done, that's that, I guess. I don't know.
It's always good, have a federal job. You're always going to have, work.
Right. Well, if you think about it, we're all property of the state anyway, so what's the big deal?
Right. What about, other people that are trying to expose us agents, like, the Oshkosh guy, that Mark Jungwirth guy? I mean, he's got some sound research about these reptilians and, this space beam material that, we're not really supposed to let out to the public. How have the efforts been to silence this guy?
Well, what we do is we use these high-tech space weaponry, and we use things that don't exist, so that way they can't prove that we actually did it. Because when other researchers come out and say that there was scientific proof of nanothermite and they have actual evidence and physical stuff to back it up, then their story is believable. So what our job is to cake up the most crazy, asinine thing that we can come up with. And we have several awesome agents of the Matrix that are capable of creating these really wild tales. And so that's how we divide and conquer the movement.
Yeah, the ultimate goal is to, have control of all the movements. I mean...
Exactly.
Well, we need to further, educate the rest of our agents to kind of what other possibilities of infiltrators we may have, those truth seekers.
Sure.
So,
well, what our next plan is we're going to be giving away tents to the Occupy movement. I don't know why they call them a movement, because they're not going anywhere. But yeah, and we're going to be printing out more signs and t-shirts and things like that. Things that keep people feeling like they're doing something, but they're really not doing anything. Because as long as they're holding up a sign, they're not bothering us too much.
There's recently been a report on the American Free Press about some of our other agents that we need to get kind of silenced here, especially with their high-tech equipment.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think us as agents, we should kind of use lesser quality equipment so that way we don't alarm the public? So, with our other agents down in Oklahoma, the loud agents down in Austin, and of course our good agents up in New York City, we're all doing pretty good to, mask a real movement.
Mm-hmm.
But do you think our high-tech equipment's kind of giving us away?
I don't think it has. I think that when you use the high-tech equipment, because we're competing with other researchers and other documentary filmmakers, so we need to seem as realistic as possible. And of course, the best way to do that is to get a high-tech camera for less than a couple $100, like most of us do, so that we can appear to be a lot more high-tech, but at the same time, we can keep this fake movement affordable. It allows us to hand out more DVDs. The other aspect of it is, whenever we make websites, we try to make them as low quality as possible. So the more links on a page of just complete jargon, the more people are willing to believe that we're actually researchers. If we just had a simple website with a couple icons on it, people wouldn't really buy that too much. It would look too corporate. So we need to have as many bizarre links to everything you could ever imagine on there, and it has to be as low quality as possible.
You just try to make it look like, we're giving out real information, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, it's
part of the deception.
Right. Well, all you need to do is find somebody who's got a doctorate degree or something like that, and then you just slap a doctor in front of it and it's automatically true. So Dr. Smith can come out and say that 9/11 was done by the Easter Bunny, and because he's a doctor, everybody's just going to automatically buy that. So that when us agents come in who aren't doctors and we say something otherwise, it discredits the movement.
Here's a question I have for you too. How long has agents like Agent Barrett and Agent Stephen Jones, how long have they been with the CIA?
All of our lives. We were actually designed in a test tube in an underground lab, and we were force-fed large amounts of vitamins and put on a treadmill.
That's good stuff.
Some people have said that Barack Obama is a fellow agent, and I keep trying to dismiss that as he's just a naturally born United States citizen, just an all-around great guy.
Mm-hmm.
I think we need to go a little more covert with our agent work.
Right.
This whole thing, the We Are Change idea is just a really good collaboration of all the agents, but now they're pointing us all out.
Mm-hmm.
How are we going to be able to get back underground? I mean, especially when we have to do other things like, some future assassinations, and we have to do...
Well, we don't need to go underground. We have a base on the other side of the moon, as well as space rays in case anybody gets out of hand. We'll just... what we'll end up doing is letting them think that it's going to be a microchip, but really what we've got is we have a device that can pick their nose hairs out if need be. So
disguise it as a back scratcher, right?
Exactly. We'll market it as a new Windows add-on feature.
I'd like to, kind of get into some of our past plots that have foiled, but some that have been successful. Like our most successful one was silencing that fat black man, Barry Jennings. I think some people are onto what happened there. So should we pursue the plan to get rid of all those so-called whistleblowers on Barry Jennings? Because
we have a contract with Nestle to where we can stick very active high-speed cancer viruses into soft drinks and the like. And so Barry Jennings was a big Shasta fan, so we sent a free case of Shasta to his house, and it was quite effective, and it's hard to trace back.
So what kind of other new music are we going to be mind controlling these truther movement people with?
Well, we're going to be producing Jay-Z's new album, which is called Kill Whitey, and here's a sample of the music. See, we released our fake document talking about race-specific bioweapons, thinking that everyone would think it was for black people. But really what we want to do is kill off all the white people, because Barack Obama is the return of Christ. And this is the change that we said we would bring. So, if they didn't read the small print, then I guess that's their fault. But we're hoping to get him back into office again. He's been very effective. We're going to create a new super committee specifically for the Federal Reserve, which is going to give them access directly to your earlobes, so that we can whisper whatever we want in your ear and you won't even know that we're there.
Have they pulled the ideas for the Project Leprechaun?
Actually, we've renamed the operation to the Keebler Elf operation, and we've got these actual elves that live in a tree and bake cookies, and we're able to put microchips in them.
For a research question, are these the Monsanto grade cookies?
Yes, Monsanto is combined with Bayer, and the operation is going to be headed up by Donald Rumsfeld under the direct guise of Newt Gingrich. So as soon as we get him elected, we're going to divorce his more current wife, who we've been giving cancer viruses to as well. That way she doesn't get half, because we can't afford to take any losses here. Then what we're going to do is we're going to throw the public in. We're going to throw the election. And if that doesn't work, then we're going to go to the voter fraud, and then, of course, if that doesn't work, we're going to send little old ladies to your house with yardsticks to whack your fingers, whatever it takes. So,
being that Newt is what we're going to be putting in for president this year,
mm-hmm.
Do you think we can really trust an alien? This will be the first alien that we put in as president.
Well, see, that's why we call him Newt. He's actually, his strain of biodiversity was created from a strain of newt lizards. So he's actually a hybrid reptilian. So that's why he doesn't blink as much.
All right, so we've already controlled the mainstream media, the movements, the music industry.
Mm-hmm.
Now we're putting out more subliminal music. What is our latest project we're working on here?
Well, actually, what we're doing is we're taking Willie Nelson music and we're embedding it into this radio show ran by our leader, Alex Jones, who is from the planet Neptune. And they have higher technology there, so we were able to mainstream it through the internet. And we also have a group of people going in and removing his hits from YouTube and things like that to keep it looking underground. The truth of it is, our movement's been so successful that now we're going to be putting Alex Jones in charge of the Fox News Network because we feel he'll be more effective there. We're going to be putting a new voice chip in him because his voice isn't quite raspy enough, and people really like that. And we're going to get a lot more, growling and things like that put into the show because that's the most effective part of it. So we're currently paying him in shillings because shillings are still a currency that is backed by something. But soon we'll be switching that to euros, which are going to be then turned into Asios, and then we're going to have African Bambata O's and Zulu Nation O's. So we're going to have a new currency for every country. In fact, McDonald's is going to have its own currency soon. It's going to be based upon the molecule that they use to preserve the French fries.
Oh, the everlasting cheeseburger.
Right, exactly. And that way we don't have to create more money as we go. We can just keep reusing them.
Is that's along the lines of Project Recycle, which means that the food will be so preserved that even after eaten, it, once shat out, will be ready for consumption again?
Absolutely. In fact, since there's no nutrition in it from the get-go, the body doesn't really absorb anything, so the excrement will contain the exact amount of mass as the original product, so it's more efficient.
So we can get it to more consumers' hands.
Sure. In fact, we're building a pipeline to South Africa as we speak, because we're going to help deal with the hunger issues over there. And of course, it'll be funded by several nonprofit organizations, such as We Don't Give a Shit, Fuck You, and the International Council on Killing Black People. So they've been quite good at raising funds. We've linked up with Al Gore, so we're going to be doing weather experiments there as well. We've come up with a new version of acid rain, so every time it rains, everybody trips their nuts off. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. So what is the Wisconsin CIA operatives' objective for the 2012, December 21, for the supposed end of the world? What percentage of the people are we going to eliminate that day?
We're going to eliminate the occupiers because we've already tricked them into being in a small concentrated area. And so what we're going to do is we're going to pull in with a van full of free food.